My next guest, a two-time World Cup champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, and responsible gaming ambassador, which we love for FanDuel. Carli Lloyd, how are you?
Good. How are you? Good to chat again.
Good to chat again. I feel like it's our little annual check-in. I'm highly caffeinated and very excited because we've got NFL training camps underway. We've got Olympic stuff to talk about. But I thought we should start and give you some visual caffeine for your morning here. Let's go back. NFL camps 2019. You crushing this 55-yard field goal at Eagles camp. Why don't we see you kick in the NFL, Carli?
Timing is everything. And unfortunately, I was preparing for a World Cup then. So, or it was post-World Cup, and couldn't make it happen. But that was a pretty wild day because I didn't even know that it went viral until I stepped in my car. And then all of a sudden, everybody was talking about me playing in the NFL. So
how
really
many
cool.
chances? Did you practice a bunch? Because I did the Kick of Destiny. We're all FanDuel family here with Gronk, who practiced for months and missed it. So was it easy for you? Was it that a first shot, on a whim?
I started up close, and then I was, competitive, obviously, and wanted to keep moving myself further and further back. But I had the whole squad there. I had the snapper, the placeholder. I had it all. But no, I mean, it's sort of a similar motion to kicking a soccer ball. It's a little bit different. And I had done it a couple of times, but it was just the competitor in me that wanted to be able to try it.
Wow, hear that, Gronk? Maybe you didn't want it enough. Maybe you didn't want it bad enough, Gronkster. I'd love to see an NFL jersey up in your background over there. Is it true that you did get some serious offers back in 2019?
I did, yeah. It was pretty serious with a couple of teams, and it worked out the way that it was supposed to work out, and that's all that matters. But it was it was a cool experience just to show, young girls and women around the world that, and anything is possible. And I think if there's one position in the NFL, a kicker would, be a possible position. Not to say that you wouldn't have big men running at you in case, if you're blocked or whatnot. But yeah, it was a cool experience, but it's, done and dusted.
You're saying that, but Carli, I'm dying to know what teams. What teams? What teams?
I'll hold that close to my heart.
Well done. Okay, let's talk about Paris. You can let loose here. The group stage for women's soccer kicks off tomorrow. Team USA, 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't want, for people who are more casual viewers or they want to get into the Olympics, I'd love for you to tell me what the identity of this Olympic team is.
I think we're going to find out. I think, this has been a very unusual situation for the women's national team with Emma Hayes coming in, being named the head coach, earlier in the year, and then not really being able to coach them until, the last two games, which was send-off games. But then the two games prior to the send-off game, she had to choose a roster. So very different circumstances, but I think, U.S. Soccer was willing to wait. She is worth the wait. She's proven herself on the club side, and, now it's a big test on the national team side. But I think this identity, we're going to find out a lot about who these players are. They're young, they're talented. They've got a lot of tools that hopefully they can unleash in this Olympics. But I think they're going to kind of create their own path. I think it's a very different team than we've seen in the past. I think they're all refocused again. They're hungry, and they're going to want to climb back up to the top.
It's Zambia, 3 Eastern tomorrow. I'm trying to think tactically, strategically. You saying that we don't know what their identity is, we'll find out. How much of an advantage is that?
I think that the biggest thing that is different within this team is throughout the years of the national team since the start, there's always been one or two players that have kind of been these stars around this team that would be able to will the team to victory by individual brilliance. Abby Wambach coming up big in a big moment. You have Alex Morgan, Hope Solo, Shannon Box, all these players that have played throughout. And so there's always been that one or two players that could really change the dynamic of a game in an instant. Megan Rapinoe as well. And we don't really see that within this squad. There's nobody that is out there where you're saying, okay, this player is really intimidating. We've got to shut them down. I think this identity of this team is they collectively have to play well together. And the front three are dynamic. They've got goal scoring abilities, with Rodman and Smith and Swanson up top. They're going to be lethal, that's for sure. They're also young, so they do have to learn a little bit. But I think with a team like Zambia, they're going to be very, very good on the counterattack, very good in transition. They probably will sit low and sit deep, which the team did struggle a little bit against Costa Rica in their final send-off game, but they created a lot of chances. So, it's going to be a good experience for them regardless. I think it's just it's a different look, and I think everybody kind of has to sit tight and see what the team's going to bring.
I think it's a really pragmatic way of looking at things. And everything that you're saying, like there's no star, and there's been so much, obviously, change. You got Julie and Megan, they're gone. Alex Morgan left off the roster. Like, what is this team is the question I had all morning. Excited to talk to you about it. They're also a team that's dealing with, bad taste in their mouth in the last World Cup, right? Worst finish in World Cup history. And they do have this new coach. And I like that you said, you gave her like a vote of confidence in that answer, bringing up Emma. You played for her in 2009. It was with the Chicago Red Stars. Not the best season, but the first inaugural season, of course. There's adversity there, too. Can you help me understand why she's the right person to help turn this team around?
Well, I talked about timing, opening up with, kicking in the NFL, and timing is everything. And I think, when I played for Emma in 2009, I was new to the club scene. So I was, immature and not a great professional. And Emma was, kind of new, a newly appointed head coach. She had a lot of personalities to manage within her team. And we didn't do well. And it was a major disappointment. But whenever we see each other and whenever we get together, it was both turning points, for us as professionals, for her in the coaching realm and for me in my professional career. And I think we both took away a lot, learned a lot. I think that she then went on to, manage Chelsea for so long with a lot of different personalities and kind of figured out what works best. But I think Emma's probably the first national team coach, in my opinion, that the U.S. has had that has sort of a complete bio to her. She can do it all. Tactically, she's flexible. She's good and savvy with the media. I think she relates to players on the human side of things, more personal side of things. I think that she's just a great overall leader. She surrounds herself with other really good people around her. There's no ego. There's no BS with her. What you see is what you get. So I think that in her timing of her career, this was the best move. And I think with the team as well, and the position and the disappointment from the 2023 World Cup, and some changing of the guard and whatnot, I think that it just all aligns. And now it's going to be a big test up to the players and to Emma Hayes, to be able to prove that they can all do it on this world's biggest stage. I mean, this is what you play for. This is where everybody rolls their sleeves up. They give you their best effort, and we're gonna see what this team is made of.
It sounds like she gets the vote of confidence, the nod of approval, though, from legend Carli Lloyd, which I love. In the headlines right now, there's a lot about midfielder Corbin Albert with the ideas. There was an apology, the headlines that are out there. Knowing Emma, how will she manage that?
Well, I think, Emma coming out in a press conference and, telling people and fans that they need to support her and that she believes in her. I think, to get a vote of confidence from your head coach is pretty amazing. And if I were Corbin Albert, I would soak up every ounce of that and make sure you're proving yourself on the field. I mean, ultimately, people want to see winners, and, the best form of medicine with any type of doubter out there is to prove people wrong on the field. So I think, Emma has a very strong personality. I think, she's kind of taking that media role and that burden for players to have to speak up and talk about different things where she's kind of front and center. And so I kind of like that because then the players can just focus on what they're there to do. And obviously, I can't speak on it anymore. I mean, they've had internal conversations, and I've been a part of teams where, you're not disclosing what's going on. So I think, Emma values her, U.S. Soccer values her, and now it's up to Corbin Albert to get it done on the field.
And I hope they do. If you look at FanDuel Sportsbook, they're favored to win the gold. Of course, a lot of love for the U.S., a lot of fun and, responsible bets being put in to support the USA. But then I looked at the FIFA rankings, and they're fifth. They're behind Spain, they're behind France, England, and Germany. So what are your expectations, Carli? Is this a gold-winning U.S. team?
I think it's going to be a stretch, honestly. I think that there, is always a possibility. I don't want to rule anything out, and the team is going to go there and they're going to want to put their best foot forward. They're going to want to win gold. But I think it's hard, especially with what Emma is wanting to implement, kind of brick by brick. It's a process. It takes time. Some of these players have to, learn, have to struggle, have to go through a tournament like this. But I think Spain is definitely the team to beat. So I'm a little surprised as to how they're not the favorites to win. I also think Japan, Germany, Colombia even may have a good run. So it's going to be a really tough tournament. It's a quick turnaround. Olympics are no joke. You've got 2 days in between to recover and regroup. But at any moment, any team can go out there and win, and that's the beauty of where we're at for women's football.
When you're seeing all this on social playing out, and we're about to, the opening ceremony, all of that, like, where does your heart go? Like, what do you miss the most?
I mean, the Olympics are so special. It's, I watched, I worked Fox Sports for the last World Cup, which was the first World Cup I wasn't a part of, and then now, sitting at home and watching the Olympics, it just takes me back to all the memories, standing up on top of the podium, which is always the best memory. But, being a part of Team USA, being able to, wear the gear and walk around in the village and just take the whole experience in. It's really just truly amazing. And it's, it's not a World Cup, but it's something bigger than that. And just being able to represent your country, it's special. So I'm sure, you'll be watching with a lot of emotions and cheering the team on as well.
You wore the gear and then you got the gear. 2 gold medals for Carli Lloyd. You are also a gold medalist for FanDuel. You're doing a really important thing. You are an ambassador for something that is near and dear to us as a company, as the leader. We have to be really ahead, and we have to prioritize responsible gaming. Tell us what you're doing as an ambassador.
So I had a great shoot that I did recently. Filmed a lot of social content and just like you said, promoting responsible play to bettors during key sporting moments. I was just a part of Copa America, didn't work the Euros, but, you just want to encourage fans to use tools like the deposit or time limits just to help manage their play. And I think that this is something that should be fun. And so, my job is, to promote responsible gaming and to normalize it. And so I had a really good shoot. They're great people to work with. And just thrilled to, be partnered with them.
We love that. There's so much insane, innovative technology that FanDuel is just chipping away at every day to make things like betting limits and budgets and stuff all in the tune of the customer and responsible gaming. And it should be fun. I totally agree with you. We love what you're doing. 2-time gold medalist, FanDuel Responsible Gaming Ambassador, and baby on the way. Congratulations, Carli.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy all of the emotions of the Olympics.
Thank you.